What up, young people? What up, old people? This is the boy Jimmy Smoth, and this is Hey Young World. I got my people in the building. They over here laughing at me. I don't know what the fuck is so funny.
What's going on?
We rolling with it. We rolling with it. I got the beautiful Quitie in the building. Your afro looks lovely.
First and foremost.
Absolutely.
Black Panther.
Hullum in here with the Black Panthers. Johnny the Gent. Johnny the Gent. Excuse me. He changed the name.
We gonna get it right one day.
Johnny the Gent. No doubt. 100%.
Absolutely. That man you hear talking is, some people know him as Extra P.
Absolutely.
If you know anything about hip hop, you know who Large Professor is. So you know. I want to give you more than that, but I don't get excited, man. I'm sorry.
Grand High Exalted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can throw the Grand High Exalted on it. Hey, give me some time. Give me some time, man. I'll be there in a minute.
Absolutely, man. If I came in like that, I wouldn't be being me. But I want you to know, man, I am definitely glad that you was able to come through. I'm definitely humbled by this experience. Thank you for coming, man. If you know who Nas is and you say that Nas is your favorite rapper and you don't know who Large Professor is, you need to
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Right.
Why do you say that?
And I'm glad you asked me that, Crisis. And before I go any further, let me introduce my man, Crisis.
You know what I'm saying? I see you get real.
Let me introduce my man, Crisis.
You get new and more.
Hold on. We can't go no further. We listen. Let me introduce my man.
That's why you should have let me do the intro. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, maybe so, but you
I had it
you
ready
didn't
for
do
it.
it, so now we gotta go from where we at. Let me introduce my man, Crisis, first and foremost. Perfect triangle, perfect purple plane, all that. You know what I mean? He got about 10 different podcasts. So he's not shy of the spotlight at all. But no, my man's doing his thing. I'm thankful for you being here as well. Engineering. I know you got some fire ass questions, and I want you to bring that to the table. Also, my man that set this up, that made this possible, Forrest G.
Yeah. False, get him gump, word up.
Hey, somebody asked me who he was. I was talking about him, and I just said he's just an original B-boy.
Exactly.
That's all I can say. Like, I didn't know what else to say.
Man,
so
original.
He's a B-boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, shout out to my man Bayshawn in the cut. Man, Bayshawn.
Word up, Bayshawn, word up.
Bayshawn, keepers of the art. You know what I mean? So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, but moving into what we was talking about before, I just kept.
And then I got my man Watts right here, man. Pete Rock, man. Word is ball, man.
I apologize, brother. Please say
no apologies needed, man.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I want to be respectful to everybody in the room. You know what I mean? But you were saying, why is it important to know who Large Professor is if you're Nas is considered your favorite MC?
Definitely.
Okay, so then I'm glad you said that, because then that brings me to a question that I want to ask you. This is really going to be considered a hip hop conversation.
Yes, sir.
But since we have a hip hop legend in the building, we have to, we got to ask not personal, but questions that are, directed towards you.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So, who discovered Nas? Was it you or MC Search from Third Base? That's the first.
No. Well, I mean, I don't take any credit for discovering Nas. I'm the one that kind of started him, but professionally.
Okay.
But prior to him, I mean, Search came after me. You know what I'm saying? Search was coming around.
Okay.
He was like, "Yo, what's up, man? Where's that kid at, man?" And he did all the necessary things to find where Nas was at, you know what I'm saying? Because we was hanging tough then, and, Search used to come around the way. But prior to that, my man Melquan and Joe Fatal were the ones that introduced me to Nas.
Okay, and Joe Fatal was on live at the barbecue as well.
Yes,
with Akinel.
Akinelli, yes,
yeah,
sir.
Akinelli.
Word
Yeah,
up.
I remember him. He had a song called "Love Me for Free" or something.
And he had a song called his big song was "Put It in Your Mouth." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't direct that to. I've looked this way when I said that. I knew. Nah.
Okay.
Right.
So basically, you was introduced to Nas, you said, through the cat Joe Fatal.
Joe Fatal and more so Melquan, because Melquan was the guy that Nas used to be out there in Ravenswood with, and you know what I'm saying? I guess they went to school together, and through Fatal and Melquan were good friends. So, you know what I mean? Once I started becoming a quote unquote beat phenomenon, like then Melquan and Fatal kind of said, yo, man, y'all, you got to get with Nas. Y'all got to do something because this is the elite kind of thing. You know, and we just took it from there.
So, is it true that Eric B. and Rakim, Let the Rhythm Hit You, was it named Paul C?
Yeah. Paul C. Paul C. was the my man. That's my mentor, Paul C. Yo, man, God bless him. You know what I'm saying? He met an early demise in life, man. Still, the case is still the mystery is still unsolved. But what happened was, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he met an early demise, and he was working on Eric B. and Rakim's project. Wow, you know, everything went down with him, man. And yo, man, the dude, man, like he kind of threw me the illest handoff. Like it was like, you know what I'm saying, or you know, God, it might have been by God's design. It was like, who's going to, you know, take care of Paul's work from here? My government is William Paul, so you know people break it down to Paul. So they was like, yo, nah, get the other Paul. You know what I'm saying? And Rakim, and, you know, everything is history from there.
Absolutely.
But I, you know, I seen my man's work through, and you know, I wasn't as good as Paul at the time, but you know, I saw his work through, and you know, those brothers they prospered and had another project after that. You know what I'm saying? So all was well.
Absolutely. So that was 1990, correct?
Absolutely.
Let the rhythm hit.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Facts.
All right. Absolutely. So, your man Paul C was the one that put you in the game. When he passed on, you went on to do the Eric B. and Rakim. From there came Breaking Atoms. Main source.
Yes, sir.
When you guys, like, man, I've been, like, since Forrest G called me,
Yeah.
I've been listening, like, I've always paid attention to your music. I'm going to be honest with you. The first time I was presented some music, I turned it down. My cousins, like, they was always the ones putting me on the different types of music. I turned it down. I'm going to tell you why. I was more into image than I was what they was really saying. So, I became an NWA
That's real.
fan.
Nah, that's real.
But when I listen to y'all's music today, man, that shit is like, y'all talking about real life issues.
Relevant
just like
things.
NWA
Relevancy.
was.
Yeah, relevancy, man. Yo, at that time, man, you know, I was in school, high school, so I was at my peak, like, you know, not my peak, but like for that time, you know what I'm saying? I was really into the books and going to school and all of these different things, man, and not really that much into the streets. So a lot of that album was just like an analytical view of a young black man coming up in the world that's about to embark on this career, I guess, and just influenced by Gil Scott-Heron and the last poets and dudes like that.
You know, one of the last poets is from Akron.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because he's actually the uncle of my man L. Ron out there in the Q Barrel.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's Parrish's uncle too. Dre's roommate down.
Dre Live?
Dre Live.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dre Live. Word,
His,
shout out Dre Live.
His,
Yeah, shout out to Dre Live.
Yeah, his neighbor. Well, the guy who lives downstairs from Paris, that's his uncle too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the guy, man.
Cool,
yeah, I definitely, yeah. Him and my peoples was good friends. I don't want to, like, I want my people to get involved, but, like, you was just talking about basically the dynamics of Breaking Atoms and, where you was at. You said you wasn't really in the streets, but as far as I'm concerned, from what I heard, you understood it. You know what I mean?
No. I was in the street, but you know what I'm saying, as far as like, out there slinging and doing things like that, I wasn't doing that. But, I was definitely like the street news. Like, I'm out there on all the blocks doing everything. I'm in Queensbridge, I'm uptown, I'm in Brooklyn, all over the place. And so, at such a young age, your antennas is up and you feeling the vibe and you seeing what's going on globally and everything, and you got that energy to be able to say like, yo, I'm developing my voice into the world. All right, so this is what I want to talk about, and I want to hit people to what's going on and just give them an angle on. It was more just awareness. It was like, we was just doing so much partying and doing the Kid and Play kick step and everything like that. It was like, yo, hold up for a second, man. You see what's going on right now and shit like
Right.
that? So, yeah.
So a friendly game of baseball. Is this safe to say that song is a laid back version of Body Count's Cop Killer?
No,
and
because it
NWA
came
Fuck the
before that.
Police?
It came before that. It didn't come.
the laid back
It came
version.
after. It came after.
Fuck
Fuck
the
the Police because I
Right.
was definitely inspired by that.
Okay.
I'll never front like I wasn't inspired by Fuck the Police, but it was just like I said, I was in school mode, so I was into the haikus and the poems and all of that kind of stuff. So I was like, wow, man, damn, man, I see so many similarities in police brutality and baseball, and just laid it out from there.
Okay. All right. That was a very clever way of putting it. The RBIs and all that.
All day.
It caught him trying to steal base, and they shot him like. That shit crazy. Yo.
Appreciate it.
It's free
All right,
for all.
cool. All right, so I want to kind of go back.
No hesitation.
That's what I like. I want to kind of go back a little bit to the Live at the Barbecue track.
Yeah.
So, that's probably one of the most like historical bars alone that Nas went to hell for snuffing Jesus. I want to know if you could like kind of give us a visual when you heard that bar, like what place did that take you to? And not only that, have you heard another bar since then that kind of put you back in that place?
Okay.
Go back to that moment we think of that.
Yeah, definitely. It was crazy because we were barbecue was a process. It wasn't just like a one-shot deal. We had went through a couple of versions of barbecue. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, cool. We in this studio. This one might have laid a verse in this, but it all wound up being one day. We were all there, and we had went through all these little practice phases of Nas, Fatal, and it was always us, like, because those guys, they would come to the studio while we were recording, and so everything happened that night. We were in Long Island City, Queens, right down the block from Queensbridge. It was really late, and it was the last song of the project that we had to knock out. We knocked it out. It was like 5 a.m. I went to Dunkin' Donuts, got an egg sandwich after that and everything. But with Nas, we already knew, you know what I'm saying, because he had that kind of shock value kind of thing to him. So it was like, all right, he got to go first. You know what I'm saying? He got to go first because he's just the shit. It's just relentless what he's saying right now. It's just crazy. So to answer your question about have I heard like more shot? Yeah, I've heard like, because he opened a portal for everyone else to walk through now. It's like, oh shit, I could say some wild shit? Okay, yeah, let me say some wild shit. The most like out of this world crazy shit I could say. Like, and I kind of, I think Eminem might have took a page from that. You know what I'm saying? Because he said a lot of things that were not so comfortable, for the people who's just trying to be, kind of on some equilibrium shit,
He was talking about Live at the Barbecue. That's really, as far as I know, that's what put Nas on, right? I mean,
that's his first recording.
Okay,
that's his first recording. Because there's a lot of Queensbridge history that that he got from that, that might have been, just as big as Live at the Barbecue also.
Okay, all right. You seem like a pretty laid back cat, but I just want to know, how would you feel about, there's a lot of people out here that know who Nas is, and they may even, like I said, claim Nas is their favorite rapper, but they don't know about Live at the Barbecue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How does that make you feel?
That's cool. They gonna learn. You know what I'm saying? They gonna learn if that's what they thing is. Everybody's not a historian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want dig in the crates and go through the files and all that. They just want to take it for what it is. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But as I continue on, they gonna know who I am. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what make life longer. You know what I'm saying? When everything just come to you all at once, and then it's a wrap. You ain't got nothing else to. So I still got things to do and people to, get out there and touch.
Okay. I seen the episode of Master Appeal.
Oh, the Rhythm Roulette joint. Yeah, we just watched that earlier, a little bit earlier.
Right, okay. I seen that. when you sample, do you only use other records, or can you sample well, the reason why I'm asking that because it seems like the process of making beats and DJing has changed so much over the years.
Right, absolutely.
Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yo, nah, I'm with all of that, man. Just as long as the end result is fire, you know what I'm saying, and it feel like that B-boy, that original thing, you know. But then right now in hip hop, man, you got so many like sub genres of hip hop. You got trap, you got this and that, and they all derive from hip hop. So it's like, all right, I accept it, you know, because you have the elite of trap, you have the elite of hip hop, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. So you just fish out what's good and what's not so good.
Okay.
I like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, like that you do got a good ear for when you dig in the crates, you know what I'm saying? Like, but this new era of music, it's so easy to find a sample by like
YouTube and
shit like
Who
that.
Sample.
Do you feel like it kind of fucked the game up for the producers out here?
For the bandits, it fucked the game up. You know what I'm saying? Because we had things under wraps. It was like they didn't have a hold on us. They didn't know where they getting this. What are they doing? And it was like now, but once they get a grasp on what that is, then now it start becoming diluted and stuff like that.
And it also kind of defeats, like, you know what I'm saying? Because when you go in the crazy, you kind of find you gotta really look for that sample. So you actually listening to this music.
Exactly.
So you gaining a new artist that you finding some type of fan base for. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so that kind of takes that away from it too, and that's one big thing too. And I noticed also with your samples and stuff, I never heard a lawsuit on you.
Nah. We good.
Like,
Yo,
you
man,
are a clearance killer, dog.
The artists actually benefit a lot of the artists that I've I have You're the Man that I produced for Nas. Yo, man. Like 2 or 3 years after that, man, they did a whole documentary on this guy Rodriguez, man.
Okay.
And
Cold fact,
word, man. And it just went through the roof for him. You know what I'm saying? A couple of people, man. So, like Stetsasonic was saying, that's way back in the days, but they had a song called Talking All That Jazz where they was kind of trying to explain to the old heads, like, yo, rap brought back old R&B.
I know what he's talking about.
And if we did not, people would have forgot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, that's the purpose we serve in God's big picture. You know what I'm saying?
So like, what's your take on like more so like the DJs out here, like the OGs of the DJs? They kind of not like they not like kind of letting the younger guys shine, or they not like really jumping in and like kind of giving them some type of like information or giving them that proper guidance, you know what I'm saying, to stay on, because like I'm not, you know what I'm saying, it's certain DJs out here who who's in the limelight and who could be holding a torch, but they just not holding it properly. Like, if you had any type of advice you could give to that DJ or that producer, what would it be?
I mean, I've after a while, I can't front for a second. I was kind of on the, yo, you can't do this, you can't do that, you know what I mean? But then you have to understand now that, like I said in Faking the Funk, I understand that rap is now a form of showbiz. So that's just the thing, you know what I'm saying? You got people out there, but there are people who still keep it true. But, it's a form of showbiz now. So it's like you gotta respect people's hustles, maybe. That's that brother. So, all right, cool. He ain't making the shit that making me jump, but that man is eating. Yo, peace, brother. Word up. That type of thing.
Definitely respect that.
See, I feel like I had to learn that recently. That what you're saying, and I still ain't learned it.
Me either.
To me, hip hop got a formula.
It does,
and it needs to be this. And so much that I'm hearing is not it.
It's not it. It's not it.
I don't know what to do about it.
Because hip hop started as a thing that kind of like it kind of drove the breakers wild, and the people wild. It was like you heard some, what the fuck is that? Like, oh shit. Then you start, you know what I'm saying? It's like now it's kind of dumbed down and docile. Certain things, not everything, but it's like, it's kind of like the tempos is slower, and it's just like. This shit is like a slow jam, But then this is key. This is key. What we need to do is realize that these people did not come up with the history that we did.
Yeah.
So when they had their introductory to it, it was like, yo, all right, I'm starting from here.
Yep, okay.
So, and like I said, everyone's not a historian.
Sure.
So they're not going to go back and dig in the crates and try to, it would benefit them, but they, everyone's not a historian. So,
Okay, so if that's if you don't have to say, but where do you feel like the disconnect is? Because I came up, like he was saying, I came up with that NWA, the Ice Cube, and then I got.
Well,
I
really,
got
we started it. We're the ones that started it because it started becoming like, y'all don't listen to them old niggas, them old school niggas and shit like that. Yeah. And it was kind of us saying it a little bit. Like I know earlier incidents where or occurrences where dudes said, yo, I mean, you could take it way back to like Melly Mel days where someone, I won't say who or whatever, but, dude, like he's saying some fly shit out his mouth. He's saying, them rappers back then, and it was like, oh, wow, like he's going at the legend, and the legend is still, so it was a seed that was planted that maybe the next generation youngins ran with, like,
I feel like, I mean, to me, that's part of hip hop. You gotta drive at somebody.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta shoot your shot every time you get a chance. That's the nature of it.
It doesn't have to be though.
It doesn't have to be violent or like aggressive, but
it's a part of it. I mean, the battle element of it.
Yeah,
the battle element of it. You know what I'm saying? You want to definitely get on the mic and kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got to be the best because this is hip hop. And then, I got to represent 100%. I got to live my best hip hop life.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody's saying right now.
Right. Living my best life.
What I'm saying is, at what point how do you feel like it got to where it is now? Where it is now hurts my heart.
Okay, nah.
Not all of it. It's some real good music out there. It's some real good music out there.
Who are you talking about, Nas?
That pulls me up. Like,
Who are you talking about, Nas? You talking about
hip hop as the game?
Hip hop in general. Yeah.
It's
Hip hop in
general.
Yeah.
I can answer
It's a lot of things.
Answer which one?
About where it's gone to when it.
Okay.
Because I feel like Master P watered the game down. He had
Why is it Master P by himself?
I'm not saying it's his fault.
Why is it him by himself?
I feel like Master P woke up and was like, I got the best idea
it goes
ever.
Back further
we gonna
than
slam
that.
It does. It goes back further.
How back further does it go?
I saw that.
So here's where we go. When at one point everything was kind of together, like he said, the music was made to drive the B-boys, but there was a point.
And that's where you come in at. As a B-boy.
Yeah. But I go with records too. I was in a rap group. I did all of that.
Okay.
But at one point, when the focus shifted from everything to rap, and that happened when everything started going platinum and gold. So when, at one point rappers weren't going platinum and gold, they weren't getting Grammys.
Right.
But then, like, I'm gonna say around that point with Run DMC, LL, everything started shifting. So like they're like, okay, we got to focus. That was
the goal. Now
I
gotta go platinum.
So we gotta focus more on just the rap. So now the B-boys are on the back burner because if you look at everything that happened in the '80s, the B-boys were always with the rappers. They always had them in the videos.
The DJs.
The B-boys were always on TV. There was a lot of work for the B-boys back then.
Yeah.
So that was like the first shift. And then I started noticing like around in the 90s when they would have the Rocksteady anniversary, like a lot of stuff got slower. Like from that era from when Main Source came out, like you could B-boy to all of that.
Okay.
And then when they started having like these Rocksteady anniversaries, and I noticed when Crazy Legs would have certain people performing, I would just see the energy. Like the B-boys would be on the tennis court while these guys were on stage rapping, and I would just notice everything kind of just separating, like the energy and the music they were making. It wasn't driving it wasn't suitable for the B-boys, so the tempo just started. It just started falling off, and it got slower and slower.
Yeah, it's like slow jams now.
And then and that was like right around the time that Puffy came in, like
with the shiny suit
and all that.
And he just
he just started.
I feel like Illmatic changed the whole landscape in terms of the beat structure,
Right.
and the lyricism aspect. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the blueprint for the
That
90s.
might have been, and that also might have been the last hurrah for, because New York got on this shit for a while, like, yo, we the gatekeepers of this and this and that and the other, and it was like, nah, there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? This person has an interpretation, that person has an interpretation, and now make way because this is what's getting ready to happen. And certain people who couldn't grasp that, they went down in the game, and then, the people who could, they remain steadfast, like Fat Joe to this day. You know what I'm saying? He still rap NY 100% thorough, Nori. You know what I'm saying? All them dudes. So it's just now you starting to get into individuality and agendas and shit like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then they got one more blame, Radio 1.
Hey,
Right.
man,
Man.
You know what? I refuse. I went to broadcasting school. I don't really want to work for them. I'm saying it on camera. I don't really want to work for them. Like, 107.9, no. I don't want no parts of that shit.
I'm just telling you, man, because
you falling back? Go ahead, fall back.
He got out the picture. He got out the
I
picture.
really work for 107.3 the wave. I really want to work, but go ahead, though. I want to hear what
But
you said.
as far as hip hop goes,
Yeah.
I can say this for a fact. Growing up in New York, and even traveling back then, I was going around. I was going to Detroit. I was coming out here. I was going down to Florida. There was one point in time in New York you could always tell you had a New York radio station playing when you were in New York. Like it was had an exclusive sound. And the Clear Channel, Radio 1 and all that comes in. You could be in Philly, you could be in Detroit, you could be anywhere in the country, and the radio sounded the same. And even in New York, it sounded the same. The only thing that was like really popping in New York after Radio 1, you had the underground shows like Stretch and Bobbito and all that stuff, keeping that going.
Yeah.
But, back when I used to listen to BLS and Kiss, I would listen to Red Alert on Saturday night. I'd listen to Mr. Magic.
Yes, sir.
You had, the other radio shows, Teddy Ted and all. You had all
Right.
that going on. Like it was, you wasn't getting that nowhere else.
Word up.
It just wasn't going
Word
down.
up.
You weren't getting that nowhere else. And then once Radio 1 came in and bought these stations out, they're like, yo, you got to play this, and this. Like you were giving us stuff you had to play.
Start dictating.
And then like I'm down in Philly listening to, I think it was Power 99 or 10. I can't remember which one it was. And I'm like, man, this is
Sounded the same as the Power in New York. Yeah.
I'm like, it was whack.
Yeah.
It's been rumored that MTV wants to bring back MTV Raps. Would it be? Would it be? I mean, I know the answer to this question. I just want to hear y'all's perspective. Would it be what it was when Ed Lover and Dr. Dre was running?
Oh no, that's a one. Yeah, that's a one. Matter of fact, we were on the last episode together. Word up. We didn't even. We knew each other. We knew of each other, but we wasn't like.
We were standing right next to each other.
Right next to each other.
Right,
Word. When Meth had passed me the mic. And I was standing, we went back. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, exactly.
This is when they had the huge
Decipher, the last MTV show.
Last episode.
So the thing that was cool about that is that to answer your question is that they just did a 30th anniversary. Anniversary of MTV Raps, and they brought everybody back, and it was DJ Scribble that was at the helm of that, and I think they were testing the waters, and I think they're gonna move forward with that, but they have to do it in a different way now, where it's not just like, yo, we back. They gotta kind of show the credibility of the artists that were actually on there, and then where they at now, and then maybe blend it up. So I would love that if MTV Raps came back.
I like that a lot, because if they was to bring, let's say they were to bring MTV Raps back, right? And then we take a history, we go back and we pick the gatekeeper, we get the gatekeepers,
Right.
so who was running things around this time, and they show that way. But then they move to the new artists, right? Who would you select for it to be?
Kendrick.
Those outside of Kendrick.
Rock Marciano.
Well, Rock is a traditional, you know what I'm saying, but he is new. He's, but you have to think with MTV, you have to think heavy visual. So, the artist that, is really grabbing everything visually. right now. And I mean, there's a slew of artists, but the thing that's good that MTV should get hip to is that they could just go on YouTube and actually fish for ill new talent and, you know what I'm saying, kind of put them on that platform where now everybody's kind of doing their thing again and they, you know, yeah, that kind of thing. I would love it if they did relaunch that and got some, you know, some of the old, some of the new, and yeah,
mix it together. I think
absolutely,
that'd be super lit. I think that'd
absolutely.
be super cool.
Word.
So like you got a nice catalog as far as artists you produce for and stuff. Do you have a funny story for like who was somebody that you absolutely love to produce for, and who was somebody you like, yo, I will never like, not necessarily say I would never work, but like this guy or this girl is like extremely hard to work with.
It's crazy because a lot of the artists, man, and to my surprise, a lot of them met me with like utmost respect. So, you know, it's like, yo, we sought you out, bro. Like, yo, so we here for you. We want to hear what you got.
Right.
So it was always a pleasure, but just the different styles and what they did was always something that I was in. Like Slick Rick didn't lay his vocals the same way as Busta Rhymes did. Nas did his vocals different from Rakim, even though he learned from Rakim. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you dealing with the elite, you like, wow. And then they somewhat still in the peaks of that time of their career, because you know it'd be different peaks and all of that. So yeah, nah, it was always a pleasurable experience. I'm trying to think though, really, who may have been like a real piece of shit to work with, and I can't think of anyone. I can't think, because a lot of times with my career, my hip hop career, they, you know, a lot of remixes and stuff like that. Like Common was my man. We drank beers while we did that remix and everything. The Resurrection joint, like Beastie Boys reached out. They was like, yo, man, we want you to, you know what I'm saying? We see you on the come up. Gangstar, I'm like one of the only dudes to do a Gangstar remix. So I work with all of my dudes that I admire, and that was the thing, is I wanted to keep my I don't know, man. I just wanted to keep my bar high with who I work with. I ain't just want to work with any old body. So, you know, when they would come to me and be like, yo, this one won't work with you or whatever, it was always someone who I felt I aligned with.
Right, that's what's up. So like, do you got any, like, for, you know what I'm saying, God rest the dead, for Prodigy, do you got any Prodigy stories?
Oh my God. It was so sad. The last time I saw P was at Mass Appeal, and I saw him. He was doing an interview. I was like, "Yo, P, man, you a funny dude, man. You be like backing people off, man. You don't shoot nobody, you know." And he was laughing and everything like that. And right in the back room was Nas. So in the same office, like if I walked, you know, around there, and then I walked and y'all had another hall, Nas is back there. And I'm like, yo, man, P is up in the front, you know what I'm saying? But P had, you know, he had published that book. So it's still, you know, in Queensbridge politics, you don't get in the middle of Queensbridge politics, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're an insider, you good. If you not, you know, and I'm a little bit outside of Queensbridge politics, so, you know, that was the only thing. It was like, yo, with P. But to tell you a cool story, man, about P, man, I did their first record.
Okay.
I did Mobb Deep's first commercial record ever when they were Poetical Prophets and all of that.
Juvenile Hell, or was that
Juvenile Hell,
Yeah,
yes sir,
okay.
yes sir. So I did the Peer Pressure joint, and then Premier did the remix. But one cool story was when we were in the studio, we were working, and P's grandmother was she owned a dance studio on Merrick Boulevard in Jamaica, Queens, and that shit used to be bubbling. Like that dance studio was bubbling. All the girls that we liked went to that school. Like that school was bubbling. It was right there in the heart of the hood. Like I'm talking about right down the block was Jamaica Avenue. So, you know, she was a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
So we working, and P, he says, like he's like, yo, turn it down for a second. Yo, stop it. Yo, my grandmother coming for you. We in there, you know what I'm saying, getting lit. Everybody, we chilling and shit like that. Like, yo, my grandmother coming, man. Yo, just for a second, just, calm everything down. And, yo, she came in, word, she was like, what's up, y'all? Yeah, let me hear what y'all doing. We played it, and she was like, y'all boys doing good, word. I'm getting ready to get back to my grind and everything. Like, yo, I was like, yo, this is crazy right now, because I ain't never, but that was beautiful. Like, P, and I knew P from I knew P before having knew P, you know what I'm saying? Like, in Long Island. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was out in the group home in Long Island and P came from Long Island. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't originally from Queensbridge. So, just facts. Just facts. Fun facts.
What was the vibe like in the studio when y'all did it? It ain't hard to tell. I mean, if you don't want to say it, was there a lot of weed in the studio?
Absolutely, it is, man.
You can hear it.
No, but see, the whole thing. Yeah. No, but see, the whole thing about it, the whole thing about it was, now Nas, because we were, prior to that, we were working on Eric B. and Rakim's time, you know what I'm saying, recording Nas's demos. So now I did Live at the Barbecue, everything was out there, and the bells was ringing, Nas's name was ringing and everything, and he got his deal, and now it was Nas. Now it was Nas session. So it was like, I just seen my man really, living it up now. He was stepping up to the plate now. Like, yo, this my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, turn it up. Like, he like, yo, whereas before he'd be like, yo, could you please turn it? He's like, yo, turn that up real quick. Let me hear that. Yo, turn it down. Yo, turn it back up again. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really feeling like getting his feel for that. You know what I mean? It was just good to see my man. Like, he was on his own now and doing his own thing and fully capacitated on his own now.
Hey, for you to have accomplished everything that you've accomplished, how did you not go Hollywood? I mean, there's nothing.
Shit, Hollywood's just another place on earth, just like New York is, like Ljubljana, all these places. So, you see it, and then, I got a little, God bless me with little glimpses into things like that, where it was like, I got to see certain things, that's why Faking the Funk came about. It's like at the age of 19, I heard the scene, a lot of MCs that do not come clean and shit like that. So I seen that Hollywood shit because I come from the original, you know what I'm saying, like the nectar of this shit. So, like, you see this foul, wild shit going on, it's like, hold up, I'll vow to never be like that. And, that type of shit. So I had vows. For this before I came in the game. It was like, I would go to dudes, yo, check this out, because I knew my skills was up to par. So I'm, like, one person who moved around my way in Flushing, Queens was Jalil from Houdini. Okay. And we would see him, he was hanging out with Lady B from WBLS. She was a Philadelphia radio jock that had moved to New York, and so, you know what I'm saying, they was linked up and everything. I used to see them walking up the block like, yo, you know what I'm saying, pardon me, and one time I went up there, but just ultimately, man, I just, I saw different things in the industry that I had no idea about. I just thought it was about like, yo, if you got skills, then you gonna get that love and respect. But then I didn't know it was all of the, it's a lot of, man, it's my man Harry O, man, God bless him, man, God bless Harry O. He definitely pulled my coat one day. He was like, yo, man, show business. Just showed me the size and the words. Show business. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, wow, man, like, you gotta now adapt to that. If I love the music, so I'm like, damn, I don't want to get this shit out. You know what I mean? So now I got to kind of adapt and kind of start playing it cool and shit like that. Like, Faking the Funk was a ill statement, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you think right after Faking the Funk, dudes start becoming, start be calling haters and shit like that. Like, yo, why you hating? That nigga making money. Why you hating? You know what I'm saying? And then that's when it really started swerving. Cause it was like, yo, you hating on that man cause he making money. And you like, nah, he's whack. Yeah. That shit is weak. That's why I'm saying something about
That's
this.
where we at right now.
Yeah, well, you know, now it's a generation thing. Now it's a generation thing because the new generation, they just understand a certain different type of music.
Yeah, they're heavily influenced by hardcore drugs. I mean, I don't want to get into that. That's fine.
But and even still with the, you know, we just left a 25-year-old white boy, you know what I'm saying, that's used to turn and shit. My man Paul, see, I ain't no racist dude. My mentor was, you know what I'm saying, but my man Cool Kyle, man, we just left there, man. He getting busy on the turntable, so it's not that. You got types. You know what I'm saying? Types that you have your historians, the people who just generally, you know, in their life, that's their matrix. They love to dig in the crates and see what's good. And then there's the people that just want, you know, play it light and just like, yo, whatever is in now, they're going to keep running with that. Yeah. So I don't have no, you know, this is just history. You once you understand that, then like music is a small part of life. Once you understand like certain things in life, then you can apply those to music and be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. It's just they turn to rock now. You know, I gotta get back on the back of the line and shit, but I'll rock again. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing and shit. Like, and once you know that, you know, then it kind of help you with all of the judgments and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You're like, all right, well, you know, let me listen to this and see if there's something maybe that I like about it, or, you know, a lot of that new music is banging sonically, like the frequencies, the kicks, the bass, and all of that shit. Like, you throwing that 90s shit, it ain't filling the speakers up as much as the new stuff, like the trap. That trap shit be banging.
So what new artists do you respect right now?
So many, man. Damn, I should have came in. I always do that, man. I always blank out when it comes to that, man. I could
Which West Side Gun to you?
Oh man, them dudes, man. No, but actually 38 Special and G-Rap, that new project
that's
is
dope.
tough.
I'm gonna go back to
Word
it.
up, 38
It's not on iTunes, it's only on YouTube.
Word
but
up.
I'm gonna go back to it.
Nah, they gonna get there. They gonna get there.
Yeah, I hope
Nah,
it
it's
do.
on iTunes now, though.
Is it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna check
for sure.
that out, man, because it's just
Everybody
easy
got
for me to
their
do that
own,
way.
like, it's so funny, like when it comes to the whole Griselda joint, because like everybody kind of got their own favorite. Like my favorite in Griselda is Benny. Like I like Benny.
No doubt.
All of them. Like, but Conway is
Conway.
Yeah, Conway. Nah, we was
like
just in
crazy
Buffalo,
too.
man. Them dudes, and they're to a certain extent. Nah, I won't even say too. They fully kind of repping the culture. You know what I mean? But the tempos, the grimy side of it is the gangster side. You know what I'm saying? It's not the b-boy side. You know what I'm saying? Because they tempos is really slow, but it's not like slow jam
Sound like
shit.
Raekwon and Ghostface all over again. I mean,
Exactly.
In a way where it's
Exactly.
not like they corny with it.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
slow
what it sounds
jams. Like
Mhm.
some of the trap shit be sounding like slow jams to me. Like I DJ too, so I could, you know, I'm like, damn, I could mix Patti LaBelle on my own with this record.
Man, that's a dope ass.
You know what I'm saying? Like
record.
shit like that. Like
Yeah,
damn,
that's
this shit
dope.
kind of sound like Patti LaBelle on my own. And shit like
right.
this is a slow jam. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we have knowledge of slow jams. You know what I'm saying? Like that term is not even used in these days. You know what I'm saying? So it's once you like take your life experiences and then you apply those to hip hop, then you know it helps. It definitely helps because you just see the young brothers. I'd definitely rather see that young brother making millions of dollars than to be out here fucked up in the game. So that's when you get to that point. That's when you like, you know what? I might not like that song, but I like that brother is eating. Word is bomb.
I gotta
Word is
respect
bomb.
the hustle.
Word is bomb.
That's what's up.
And then he might even come later on with something that is official. You know what I'm saying? And you like, all right, cool. I'm glad I left that room. You know, I ain't just shut the gates down on. Nah, I don't listen. Because that was a lot of what we suffered with the old school dudes when we was coming up. Nah, I don't listen. It was a lot of that. Nah, you ain't down with this. You ain't popping. You know, type shit. You know, it's like, oh shit, damn. Now what I got to do now? I ain't get the blessings from. I don't get it fucked up. I got all the blessings from all the OGs. Them niggas, yo, nigga, your shit was popping. Bentleys, yo, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, exactly, like you know what I'm saying. It was some other type of stuff, but nah, definitely nah. You know, it's just. You gotta take that life thing, and then because music is a small part of life, and then once you apply that to that, then you get a greater understanding, and overstanding, definitely.
In the game, who do you consider like as students that you mentor? I seen Just Blaze kind of. He was like super pumped to see you.
I can't do that to nobody out there,
Not
man.
like,
They'll tell people. They'll tell people. They'll tell people.
Who come to you for like like they give you that phone call like, I got this situated. How you feel about? Do you think that's a good move?
Man, I can't even do that to nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, damn, man, you put me on the sun list and shit. I'm like, nah, man. Yeah. Nah. There's a lot of dudes with big pride out there, man, and they, you know what I'm saying? They may have monetarily gone way past me. You know what I'm saying? So if I say, that nigga's my son. You know what I'm saying? They gon', you know what I'm saying? Like they, it'd be fucked up.
That's Birdman and Wayne shit.
Nah. Actually, nah. It's just a dude. You know what I'm saying? Calling it for really what it is and shit. And they can even attest. You know what I'm saying? Because they may have said it out of their mouth. I'm not that type of dude. I'm not that type of dude. Like I bow my head. Like you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I don't be on that shit, man. Cause what can happen is, like Premier, for one, you know what I'm saying? Big, major, crazy respect to DJ Premier. He'll tell everybody, yo, I learned from that man. Mm-hmm. But then what happens is when you leave room, you know what I'm saying? He took flight, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I wound up learning from him. Something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, yo, if you get off that bullshit and you just do what you do and just work with who you work with, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I came in. I came in with them real hip-hop rules. Like, nah, you biting, man. I ain't working with you. Like Puff, I wouldn't have worked with Puff. Yo, somebody used that loop already, man. Nah, man, you can't use that loop. You biting, nigga.
Yeah.
You biting. Right. Like he kind of introduced biting into the game.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yo, somebody used that shit already, man, and that was a big rule with us. Like niggas used to get stomped out for doing somebody else's breaking move, and it was crazy. Right. So the biting shit was like, I was still on that old school shit, like with the biting and everything, and I'm like, wow, man, am I the hater? Like, am I, you know what I'm saying? Because that man's getting money, he chilling and all that, and they spent it. They spent it on the world, like, oh, he's a hater. He say I'm biting, and it's like you are biting, but they don't understand it. I understand it. You understand it too, but but all due respect to all of them, man. If them brothers is eating, man, and they feeding their families and feeding hordes of people, you know what I'm saying? Yo, more power to them, man. You know what I'm saying? That music shit, it's not as critical to me as it was when I was at the age of 19 and all of that. At the age of 19, I was like, nah, man, hold up, man. He ain't supposed to be doing that because it was like rules. The rules were, as we go further and further away from that, you just like, got to chalk it up, man. Got to chalk it up to just where the game went with it.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel like in a situation now where it's like, people are, they pushing this ghostwriting shit heavy, and they still considering some of these artists as like top fives, and they still putting them in the conversation as great like the greatest rappers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about that? Do you
all
feel
right,
like
so
they
what?
deserve that title?
Absolutely, because what hip hop has done is it has gone through the same channels as rock, R&B, and all of that.
Yeah.
Because rock, you didn't necessarily have to write your song.
Yeah.
Someone else could have wrote it for you. Burt Bacharach could have wrote that song for you. You just to perform. Dionne Warwick, she sang it the best. You know what I'm saying? And now the publishing and all of that. So that is, when you wrap your mind around that, it's like, all right, cool. Like, damn, now if I was on my earlier hip hop shit, it'd be like, nah, nigga, you can't. Why you know what I'm saying? That man got his hand in your back, like puppet type shit. Like, why you don't say your own words, like type shit. But when you get that broad understanding of the industry, man, you just like, okay, I see what's going on.
But see, the problem with that ghostwriting is hip hop is supposed to be about telling your story.
Absolutely.
So if this gangster ass nigga write a song for me, I'm telling a story that I ain't never lived.
You ain't even.
That's the problem with that shit.
See, but when
know
you
what I
break
mean?
it down like that, man, you know, hopefully that could clarify things for the youngins out there, man. For real,
Absolutely.
man.
That's what this is all
For
about.
real, man.
That's what
Let's
this-
clarify
And with that being
man.
said, I want to know what's the history between you and this man, Forrest G. Like, what,
Oh, yeah,
how
yeah,
far
yeah,
does
yeah.
this go back?
Yeah.
Like, what,
Yo, I don't even think we know how far this goes back because it's I mean for real, you know, when you rock with somebody, yo, you know, like, yo, man, this my dude, man, like, yo, and then you find out different things as y'all go back, like, yo, I was on this block and I was on that block and then, you know, I mean, the world gets smaller as you get older, man. So you know what I'm saying? Definitely.
I mean, I know MTV. I'm like, you know, I was with Rocksteady at the time,
Okay.
and Pee Wee Dance was like, hey man, you know, we're gonna go down here and get busy on at Yo MTV Raps. Yo, you should battle MC Hammer.
did they tell you that shit?
Hammer was in there, so I was like, yeah, I'll wait for him to go down. I'll jump on him. So I went down there. It was me, Pee Wee Dance, Honey Rockwell, and Smirk. He was a young cat. He was like 14 at the time in Rocksteady. So we went in there, and at that time I was working on like 24th and 7th. So I was seeing all the bad boy cats roll through my job. I was seeing Craig Mack down on 23rd Street almost every day. Yeah. Puffy's mom used to come into my store and get stuff. Then Onyx used to come in there.
Them his boys.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace, Shy Skills, man, the producer for Onyx for the first album. Word, he passed on, man. That's my man from down the block in Flushing, Queens, New York, man. My man Shy Skills, man. Word, peace to God.
So we're in there, you know. I'm in there, MTV Large is in there. Everybody's in there. We just all vibing.
Getting busy doing what we do.
And then I worked at a record shop in New York. Large is coming through.
Roll through.
So
You know
that's
what
how
I'm
I got to meet a lot of people through that, and then park jams going on uptown. So we was always kind of
in the same circles.
Just you know, people just at some point they gelled or didn't. So
Word.
we just,
And that's the thing is like as we backtrack, it's like, yo, you remember this? You know, when we play the Remember This game, it's like, oh man, damn, yeah, word you remember? That's something.
Right.
And then Large is a b-boy. I know a lot of people. I don't want to blow us. Large got busy on the
So when we talk about b-boy, that means you do break dancing, you a DJ, and you used to vandalize.
Yeah,
bandit. I like vandalism.
The bandit boys.
I
The
like
b-boys,
vandalism.
the bandit boys. Yeah,
I like vandalizing shit, but I like vandalizing shit with shit that means something. Like I don't just want to vandalize just to vandalize. I like tagging.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting at a railroad track, I be recording that shit.
Yeah. Me too.
I like
Me too.
that
Definitely, man. It never leaves you, man. And that's,
like that shit.
you know, it become more diluted because it became more industrialized. But you know,
and we've even had conversations about that because we know some of the same writers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So-
Like the New York, they call it the Big Apple, man. But it's really like a tight little space, man. That, you know, if you get out there and stick your chest out far enough, man, you'll make your mark, man, and you'll be known in all the 5 boroughs and everything, man, and just, you know, the world from there on.
Is Akron like New York to you?
Akron. No. Akron is different because there's a more concentrated thing out here, man, where it's like the dudes who come out of here are extraordinary. Like it ain't just no run of the mill type shit. It's like, no, that dude's extraordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Suave, he's extraordinary. He'll tear. I know that Cleveland shit. Akron, yeah. We was in Annabelle's. We was chill, yeah. So that's what I noticed.
Where's
like,
he from?
He's in Cleveland, but he's
Well, we got Cleveland in the building.
but he
no
rolls,
doubt,
he
no
rolls
doubt.
with us. Style
Yeah.
Rockers, he rolls with us.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
for sure. Yeah. But
And he got love for
extraordinary, like on some freestyle shit. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed that, like I said, you know what I'm saying. My man Cool Cal, we was just in there DJing with him, man. Yo, for a 24, 25-year-old, you know what I'm saying, dude that came up and, you know, just learned on his own, man. Extraordinary. Extraordinary. So I noticed, like, you know, the city sometimes with New York, man, you can it's so much to do out there, and so much, you know, you might not be able to really master your craft as much as you're supposed to. But out here, it's a little bit more laid back, and you know what I'm saying, but you be able to get into your craft, man, and be that extraordinary person.
See, I've been saying that since I came home from the Army. Akron, not just because I'm from here, not just because I'm from here,
it's
but
real.
I'm from here. Akron has a pace that you could build greatness. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You chip away at
That's
marble.
the best way to say
Akron
it.
has the pace.
Yeah,
where
it had the
your
pace
hammer
for
is
greatness.
perfect.
The
Yes.
pace for greatness, no
if
doubt.
If you build yourself here, unstoppable anywhere else.
Yo, let's take that to the government, man. Let's take that to the Akron government,
Let's
man.
go.
The pace for greatness.
Let's go.
The pace for greatness,
Pace
man.
for
When you know what I'm saying, welcome to Akron. It's the pace for greatness, man. For real.
My last question I got for you, if you could, who would be your Mount Rushmore of rappers and producers? I'm sorry. You know what? No,
You've already asked.
all right,
Please,
all right.
get going.
My Mount Rushmore, oh man. See, I'm gonna go back, you know what I'm saying, to dudes that I know, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna put my man Paul C on that. I'm gonna put my man Marley Marl. I'm gonna put 45 Kane. I'm gonna put Howie T. I'm gonna put Mantronics. I mean, I could keep going. All I'm doing is just keep going back. Like, I'm Mantronics. I'm going back to Larry Smith. I'm going back to Davey D. I'm going to Pumpkin. Yo, like, all of these dudes, like, you know, it's I could go on for days. Like, my it's a different Mount Rushmore now. It's like 80 heads now. It's like, yo, these dudes is like all the dudes. Like, I don't want to forget nobody. Even Premier, you know what I'm saying? Even Premier, like, it's Pete Rock, you know, all them dudes, Just Blaze. Man, even down to the young.
You think AZ was underrated? The rapper AZ? Do you think
I didn't even get
underrated?
into the rappers. Like, nah, A is elite.
He is, but I don't feel like he got it. I don't feel
Oh yeah,
like,
for Mob Style, there's two AZs.
I
There's
didn't
one
know
for
that.
Mob
Yeah.
Style.
I didn't
Mob
know
Style
that.
is the gangsters.
Who?
Mob
real
Style.
gangsters, Mob
That's
Style.
the gangsters.
AZ,
the one that's from
They-
Paid in Full.
Yeah, I know that.
But they rap Mob
I
Style.
heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard about that. I'm
It's
not
ill.
familiar about
It's
that
ill.
enough to talk about it.
Check that.
I heard that they had a
check
little
that.
crew going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
They even tried to set it off on NWA on one of
Word.
their records.
Oh, really?
Word, yeah.
They came
That was
out on
smart
NWA.
though, because they was probably popping at the time, and it's like, why not go for?
Right, we'll go for the big dogs,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like, you know, I hear stuff about, Ice Cube, man, from the hood, this and that, but the mob style cats all lived in my neighborhood, and they were all really doing it.
Yeah.
So are you,
for sure.
is that Harlem or?
Yeah, that's Harlem. That's Harlem.
Okay, all
Yes,
right.
sir.
They were really doing it. Like,
Yeah.
it was no, like...
All that Rich Porter
pretentious-
story and all of that, that's
pretentious,
AZ.
that's
That's
no
AZ
drugs.
that
They would
rap with Mob
They were
Style.
doing it, and I saw it going on in the
Yeah,
street.
for
So
sure.
how far is Harlem from Queens? Let's establish
It's
that.
just
How
right
far?
over the bridge.
bridge.
Right over the
What we
bridge.
talking like from here to
15, 20
Columbus,
minutes.
from Akron to
No,
shit.
man.
No, it's like 15, 20
mind,
minutes.
never mind.
Yeah, like 15, 20 minutes.
Caught
Okay.
up in that traffic, though.
Nah, don't start talking about the traffic. That's my man P. He be driving all over the earth, man.
Straight
for real.
shot down the FDR 61st Street Bridge.
Oh no! Not even that. You could just go over to RFK right now. It used to be the Tri-Borough, but you could just go dip over and you right in the borough, man. Q Borough to Manhattan.
That's just because I used to hang out in Long Island.
No doubt. And there's always an affinity. Like, there's always been an affinity with Uptown and Queens. Like,
Okay.
always, man. Always. Definitely. Like, dudes, like, I can't front, like, Queens, the only, and there's even an affinity with the Bronx, but, like, just for that short stint, like, KRS-One went at the borough and shit, but everybody get along with the Q borough and shit. Like, so, yeah, nah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Some heavy hitters from the Q Borough.
Yeah, oh yeah. Nah. After that, man, just everything, all the youngins, Prodigy, Tragedy, everybody just started.
Yeah, I see you work. Tragedy was in your
Rhythm
Roulette.
Roulette, no
Yeah,
doubt.
he came in
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
end.
Trag,
Yeah. But
Yeah, for
I learned about him through the Capone and Noriega War Report. That was my
Absolutely,
first introduction to him.
absolutely. Yeah, that's the
Why did you turn down the executive producer position for
Man,
Illmatic?
don't listen
What?
to none of that bullshit, man. Don't listen to none of that bullshit.
Okay.
Word is bomb, man. Niggas never came to me with nothing, man. They ain't
Okay.
never come to me with nothing like, yo, we want you to executive. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was execing projects already, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not even knowing it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody should have felt it in their heart. Like, yo, that man did all of this, man. He put Pete, you know what I'm saying? Yo, man, let's give him this credit. I was in Square Records today on Market Street out here.
Shout out to Square Records. Yeah.
And I looked, and they had the hip hop section. They had Eric B and Rakim. Not Let the Rhythm Hit Him. The one after that was Don't Sweat the Technique.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I was involved with Let the Rhythm Hit Him, and then I looked at the back of that cover. There was no credit, and then I looked at the back of Don't Sweat the Technique, and they had me down as a production coordinator.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I had just fully had done so it's, you know, a lot of red tape.
That shit is weird though.
Nah. It was an industry thing back then. It was like you kind of, especially for Eric B and Rakim, you wanted to be a kind of self-sufficient, kind of like we didn't have to get nobody else to do this, like, cause they started that way. You know what I'm saying? Marley put them on, and then they, you know, when they did their album, that was just them. So it's like, all right. But they would have been ahead of the game if they would have, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, P did this, or yo, that, you know, he did that, or whatever. Because that's where the game went after that. You know, it was like, yo, produced by this. And then the producers started becoming the prominent ones. And shit. You know, when you hear Just Blaze, you know what I'm saying? And dudes and the actual artists is saying that and all of that. It was like, yo.
Well, I was talking to an older cat, and he said that's the reason why you had like Eric B and Rakim instead of being Rakim and Eric B. It was mainly focused on the DJ and the person that was, and that's what I'm trying to do with the beat showcase. I'm taking it back to how it was. Like, it was more or less focused on who was making the beat.
Absolutely. No, because you can sit there and rap all day a cappella if you want. Where's the beat at, God? I ain't feeling no frequencies coming through them speakers, God. Like, yo, fuck your voice, nigga. Let me hear a beat. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's real, man. Hey, look, I appreciate you coming through.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hold you. Oh, go ahead, please.
They took my question, or like you just like answer the question, because that's why I've been quiet just listening. But you've been like real positive about like the whole career and everything like that. But even with your vows and your morals and like not getting credit, what made you keep going? Like push you with everything?
My love for the
negative.
No doubt. Now my love. I mean, I'm. You know, I do have negative. I have things that scarred my soul, where I wish I'd have had more media training and knowing that. You know what I'm saying? Just keep things under wraps and just kind of let, you know, things work in a certain way, and it would have kind of done what it needed to do for me. But you know, you grow in this industry, and I may have surpassed some of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yo, now I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. I'm out here. I'm able to rock and roll. We just came from Chicago. I'm all over the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? Places I can't pronounce and shit like that. I'm like, yo, I ain't mad at nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it all worked out. And, you know, like I said, you take your life experiences, because music is just a little small part of life. So you take your life experiences and then you say, all right, yo, boom. Even though music might be the engine, you know, to get you out here experiencing life, but, you know, you just take those life experiences before music and all of that and just apply it. Like, oh, shit, that's that? Ah, man, yo, you know, it just, you know, it helps mentally, definitely. So I ain't too, you know, I'm off that real, you know, I still know those rules, but I can roll with the industry with what they doing now. You know, dudes biting. Now they doing like, they doing the same loops over, like my man Royal Flush, he got his joint, you know, the worldwide joint. And then now I hear like French Montana come, he got the same loop, but he got trap drums over it now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to chalk that up to the game. And, you know, one thing that a lot of people don't know with hip-hop is that it comes from Jamaican culture also, you know, and they have such a thing named as version. You know what I'm saying? So it's version, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you say version, it's like, yo, that's that man's version, and that's that man's version. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So, you know, once you get your knowledge, you know, I'm a historian, so I go and I study and I do all of these things, but everybody's not. But, you know, that's what helps me to understand and cope and overstand.
The version's always on the flip side.
The version is always on the flip side. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So, you know, it's It's all good. It's all good. You know what I mean? I'm just glad that we as a culture are out here, and like MC Shan said, you know, now we living in the world of hip hop. You know, a lot of our culture is seasoning the world. A lot of kids, you know, that may not have been allowed to even be fucking with hip hop is now fully enthralled in that shit. Like, yo, I got turntables, I got this and that and the other. If you thought about that in the 80s, you know what I'm saying, he probably had a problem. Like the Cool J video when the girl got all of these posters on the wall and the pops come and rip the shit. Yeah, I need love. Word, you come rip them shit down. Like, no, you're not doing this. Like, so you see how far we come, and then you like, yo, you know, God bless hip hop type shit. You know, yeah.
That's right. You dropped a project this year, correct?
Yeah. Nah, it's always projects dropping.
Okay, you dropped a project this year. I listened to it for the first time today. I'm not gonna front. I had it on
nah,
my
that's
iTunes
real.
for a long
You
time.
gonna be a long time listener after all this right here, bro. You gonna have to consult from now on, bro.
You produce it ain't hard to tell, man. And to go further than that, he produced the Hype.
No doubt, yeah. Yes, sir,
Yes, sir. With
Busta Rhymes, no doubt.
Rock Marciano does not sound the same way on that song
as he does on the new stuff.
Right, my man. Shout out to Rudy Ray. You know what I'm saying? He does not sound the same way at all.
You think it's for better or for worse?
I think it's for better. It took me a long time to get into Rock Marciano.
Okay.
I got a guy, you'll probably meet him eventually. His name is Rudy Ray. He has his own podcast, Urban Logic Show. Shout out to the Urban Logic Show.
No doubt, Urban Logic.
He's the one, he took time and put me on the Rock Marciano. I didn't like the flow, his approach. You know what I'm saying? Like but what I figured out, he take his time and he tell you a story.
Exactly.
You know
if you got the time, I got the time.
Relax.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So that's gangster. It's not gangster, it's gangster.
It is. Yes, sir.
The STER.
Yeah.
I don't like that gangster shit.
With the STA.
I know how to spell.
Stop.
A little bit.
Word up.
But so my thing is, like I said, man, I don't want to hold up your time.
We good for life, man. Good
happy
for life.
that you took out time to
absolutely
come
we
visit
good for
us,
life,
man. Akron,
life.
man.
That's the hip hop thing, you know what I'm saying? We show love, man, like Big said, man, you know what I'm saying? Show love. You know, he said it's the Brooklyn way, but he really was saying it's the hip hop way, you know what I'm saying? We do hip hop has always been a something from nothing kind of culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, yo, man, we gathering for this, you know, we're gonna be playing some music or we're gonna be doing this, and it's like with limited resources, you know what I'm saying, we have a good time, and yo, dude, skills be up, and you know, so I'm still on it like that. Like I love that, man. I love to see my people, you know, we speaking the same language, we speaking about this music, this shit is helping us to cope with things and everything. I had many people come up to me like, yo, that looking at the front door shit, yo, that baseball shit.
Please talk about that though. Looking at the front door about a relationship?
Yeah.
Is that about a relationship?
Yeah, it's about a relationship.
Sidebar. Looking at the front door.
Right.
He has one of the glasses like Raj from Good Times.
Yeah.
Niggas is out here wearing them glasses right
now.
How do you feel about that?
Hey, man, you know what I mean? I ain't even gonna say it was nothing prophetic or nothing like that. That was just moms working with her budget, saying this is what you gonna get. You know what I'm saying? When you get your own money, you get what you want. You know, that type of thing. You know, at that time, like the Commodores and all that, you know, if you look at them Commodores colors, even my man Forrest had the big joints, you know that. So it was just that, for sure.
I'm gonna get with you. I want pictures of that shit.
Absolutely, there's many.
Then I had a fro.
Word up with the fro, yes sir.
Well, you're not bald by choice.
Nah. He just be cutting low.
Hey, if I let my shit go, I'm be walking around looking like George Jefferson.
Then you ain't gonna be able to fly hats and shit like that. Then you ain't gonna be able to wear them fly hats like that.
No, man, like you know how them old school cats put it on top of there and let the shit on the side stick out. Yeah, so they comb that shit out.
But I'll tell you a funny story. The reason why I grew a fro is because I was in England and I was there for quite a while. And I did not like none of the barbers over there and the way they cut.
No doubt.
So I just let my joint, like, I was over like 6, I just let the joint just grow.
So you just let it grow because you didn't like the barber.
Yeah, and I was like, I said, well, you know what? I actually kind of like this. I'm going to keep it for a while.
And that's why I rock with Forrest because, like I said, man, like, you know, he was out there in England and all that in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? He was out there earlier. You know what I'm saying? He was in Australia and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like early.
All the way up to like 2009.
Word up.
And now I'm just kind of chilling.
Just chilling.
Do you compare New York and Akron in any type of way? The last conversation I had with you about New York, you know, the first time I talked to you, the last time I had a conversation with you about New York, you were saying that it's not the same as what it was. But do you consider Akron and New York in any type of, you compare them in any type of way?
It's hard in a lot of ways. You know, it's funny, like, not to change the story from New York, they call, like, Philly the city of brotherly love. Mm-hmm. But I kind of feel that more way about Akron. Yeah, like it's you know, everybody here knows everybody, and it's a strong.
It's not brotherly love.
Yeah,
like
well,
It's not, but
No,
you just gotta find who you can
I know
rock
what you're
with.
saying. Like when there's an
But
event,
New York,
yeah.
in New York is like you kind of, you know, you roll with your little clique, and that's it. It's just too much going on, too busy.
The support too,
And
like people
it's-
coming out to your event. If you say, "Yo, I got an event," you know what I'm saying? You might see them, you might not. You know what I'm saying? I know in Akron, a lot of times when I come out, I've seen the same people that have come out to support. You know what I'm saying? My man Dre out there, a few of them. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same in New York, but it's just a little.
I think, yeah, every
a
city,
little different,
you know, they
man.
got the. Like in New York, man, like if somebody hates you, they just hate you.
They hate.
They hate you. Like
They
there's just
hate
no
you.
like,
They hating.
nah, I
And
don't deal with him or whatever.
And they
Here,
might
you
not
could at
even
least
know
sit
why.
and, you know, you can talk, you can break bread. I think breaking bread here is a little easier with people. you know,
Definitely.
like,
Okay.
I mean, like I know that there's people got differences, and there's just people
New York is the
going-
rat race, man.
But it's just
Akron
like,
is not.
New York
man.
is just too.
It's
It's too much going on.
It's
like,
too much,
even,
yeah.
Even when you talk about the craft, like in New York, I'm like, man, I gotta work. Man, that's 30 days comes up. Man, I gotta bust out another 2 G's for this apartment.
Yeah.
No, I still gotta break.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm gonna have to break in my hallway late at night.
yeah, it's
just-
a lot.
You said breaking your hallway later.
Yeah,
I
hell
used
yeah,
to
that's how
break
we
in my
started.
hallway,
Yeah,
break
that's
in my
how we
hallway late at
started.
night, like,
Wow.
Started breaking
and then,
in,
like if you break
in the
with
lobby.
crew, like, okay, well, we got to pay $30 an hour to rent a studio just to practice.
Right.
Or it's, because it'd be too cold
Because the lobby,
outside.
yeah, the lobby, they like, yo, now y'all got to get out of here with that.
Break in the lobby.
Word up.
And then like where I lived, part of New York I lived in was crazy, man. I had people come from like out of town and they like trying to rob my guests. One boy got like, yeah.
That's not funny, but the way he
Yeah.
said it, man,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Nah, it's real.
My friend came from California. This is no lie. He was a b-boy.
He got licked, huh?
And he came and something told me just to look out the window, man. And he's kind of a famous b-boy. And I looked out the window. I'm like, oh no, this is about to happen. And they got
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love
These are
it.
some like old schoolers, a gang up my way called the Ball Busters, large.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
They had my man surrounded, and the only thing that saved him that day was I knew the dude, and the dude knew me from breaking.
Right.
And he was like,
you yelled out the window, yo! like
there.
Fab and Wild Style, like,
And
yo!
and this is no disrespect to my old crew of people I roll with, but when I came out, he was like, yo, Forrest, you know this motherfucker? I'm like, yeah. He said, yo, he's not one of them rock steady or Zulu motherfuckers, is he? and yo, we both were. I was in rock steady. He didn't know that though. He didn't know that. I was down with rock steady. And I rolled with the Zulu cats. He didn't know that. And I'm like lying. Nah, man, he's cool. And just to make a long story short, they had to take something from him, so they was gonna make him like strip down and get on the train.
Oh my God.
Which used to happen.
That used to
They
happen.
was gonna do a belly on him, huh?
Oh,
A
man,
belly
dude
thing,
was
huh?
just-
They took his hat from him just
Yeah.
to say, and then they I
souvenir.
Took him to the subway. Yo, don't bring him. I came back. Don't bring him around here. That dude's a bitch. He didn't take. Stand up for himself. And I'm looking like, man, it's like 9 of y'all,
Yeah.
one of him.
Give peace a chance.
That's how it is in those environments, though, man. That's how it is in those type of environments.
And I'm just like, I know Akron, they got their problems, but I ain't never experienced nothing like that.
We had like 6 murders in 1 week.
But I know that too. But New York,
That's right.
New York
Yeah,
used
nah,
to be
you,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
at one
yeah,
time.
yeah.
That's weird. Like we had 6 murders in 1. I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
not-
no. We talking about music, man. We talking about
Yeah,
Cleveland is something totally different. Yeah, Cleveland is something totally different.
We get 6
Oh man.
Hey.
Oh
I just
shit.
don't find
Since we left, what? New York,
No, Gary.
Gary, we was in Gary yesterday.
We was just in Gary
Indiana.
yesterday, and they just
Shout out to Freddie Gibbs.
Word, yeah, Freddie Gibbs, no doubt.
Shout out to
And all the
Freddie
people out there in Gary, man, all of his crew out there in Gary,
Shout
man.
out
Nah,
to
she
Freddie
from
Gibbs.
over there. That's what I'm saying. Shout out
Yeah.
to all my family in Indianapolis.
No doubt, yes sir.
I just don't experience the coldness like that here, man.
You don't, because like when I moved to Columbus, the crazy part is, and I'm gonna tell the story real quick. When I was in Columbus from like 05 to 2010. Just like maybe a year ago, I read an article on Facebook about these cats out in a part of Columbus, the short north. They was out there robbing niggas, killing niggas. I didn't know about that because when I moved to another city, I didn't go to the hood really. You know what I'm saying? You don't move somewhere and go
You
to the hood.
You growing up. You don't
might
want
as
to go
well
to the
stay
hood.
at home and be in the hood.
Exactly.
You might as well stay
My
home and be in the
family's
hood.
from the west side of Akron.
Yeah, okay.
And
I'm
they
from the west
right-
side.
right
Yeah,
near Copley Road.
it's the west side all in this bitch right now. Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like I know where Akron is, and
So you still don't feel the same level of danger in
Oh, no,
Akron
there's
that you
danger
felt?
everywhere.
There's danger everywhere.
Right.
There's danger
But there's
everywhere.
levels to that. Everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's just
Extremities and
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, this was a crazy story too. I used to date this girl out in Queens, and one night I was going to her house. We left my house, was going to her house, and some dudes were on the train rapping, and they were sorry, and I just started cracking up, man, because the dude couldn't rhyme. So the train went, it was coming. It was going to, I think we were at Grand Central, and it was going to
Jamaica
over to Port Authority, and then
Okay,
it was coming
okay.
back. So we were gonna let it go down and come back. So when it came back, the dude was still on the train. He's like, "You was laughing at me?" He's like, "Laugh again, so I could just bust a cap in your ass." And it's like, wow, like, and it's like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, this is for rap, bro.
Nobody
For your verse, bro.
Just me and
Just
her.
go back and sharpen up,
He's
God.
with
Like,
his boy.
don't kill me because your shit was whack.
And then I'm thinking like, damn, Big L had just got killed.
Yeah.
And this was like, like, man, you could
That person
That
turned out
man's
to be
ego was hurt.
That person turned out to be DMX.
That's a good one, yeah.
I think the crazy part for me is to think like, man, I could have just like got smoked over
Right,
nothing,
over some
and
bullshit.
nobody would even care. Nobody would even know. They could have probably just thrown me in the tracks or whatever.
Damn.
And I was like, wow, like.
That's New York for you,
Yeah.
right?
Nah, it's the rap race,
New
man.
York.
Like I said, it's the rap race, man.
And
It's
another
the rap
thing
race.
about New York, people don't realize like the city's dangerous, but there's some outskirts. to
Oh,
New
that's
York
even
that are
more. Yeah,
way.
of course. That your whole tri-state area is bananas.
Like we were just
like,
talking about like Mount Vernon. There's
Yeah.
spots
Yeah.
on Long Island like
That's
That's
Lion
Pete Rock
Dance.
C.L.
Ryan,
Smooth
all
and
that,
yeah. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Mount.
Oh, yeah.
Is Mount Vernon the suburbs or is that the hood? But I've learned just because it's the suburbs don't mean
No,
it's
no,
good.
no. It's not the suburbs. It's just a little like a cool town on the side of the Bronx. Like you go to
Yeah.
the Bronx and then it's right there to the side,
That's
man.
it.
But it got its element. It definitely got its element. And
Okay.
and the thing about it is it's predominantly black. You know what I'm saying? So it's got its element. Definitely.
And places like Patterson, New Jersey, Newark.
Yeah, I've heard about
Nothing
Patterson.
around there, you ain't gonna make it home.
Yeah, I've heard about Patterson.
All that upstate New York shit, all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's danger everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just different extremities, man. For real.
Like I felt safer in the Bronx than I have in some parts of Long
Word is
Island.
born. Word is born.
Yeah.
Word is born.
Okay.
I mean, I've walked through the South Bronx at 3, 4,
Wilderness,
5 in the
yeah, in
morning.
the wild, yeah, chilling, yeah.
But then I'm like in certain parts of even Brooklyn, like Bedford. I'm in a station late at night, hear water dripping.
Yeah.
And that, it's like, damn, something could just jump off down here.
Any moment, huh?
Yeah.
So look, I only got 2 more questions, okay? And then after that, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna fall back all the way, all right? First of all, the 2 questions though, I'm gonna ask at the same time so I don't forget because they're not on paper. looking at the front door. I want you to talk about that, okay? Because I relate to that in so many different ways. Okay?
Yeah, see,
then
that's the thing.
I want to know everybody in the room, including my sister. My sister's in here. If she don't want to talk, she don't have to. She's chilling. But I want to know everybody in the room. I want to know y'all's first hip hop album. But looking at the front door, what was you going through in your life at that time, man?
Okay, a lot of people thought I was going through some kind of relationship problem, man.
Yeah.
But it's I will generalize it in saying that it is what I saw all my life. Like I saw the looking at the front door type shit all my life, man. Where it was like, you know, people couldn't get it together, and you know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm like really right there firsthand watching these types of things, man. As I get older, I know that's what it was, because at the time that I wrote that song, I was in a happy relationship, like really happy, and that song kind of fucked my relationship up a little bit and shit, because the girl had to go through the pressure of thinking, you know, the people thinking that it was about her, you know what I'm saying. But, you know, basically, man, it was, you know what I'm saying, it was something like, you know, I watched my moms and pops all my life, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They was going through their thing and shit like that. Word up.
I can relate to that.
Word up. And you know, as I look at it now, I'm like, wow, that's really where that shit came from. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen the dynamics all my life and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But people thought it was like me personally, like my own experience, which it was, you know, it was a combination of everything. It's a culmination of all that shit. Just like, all right, here's a song. And the thing that I love the most about looking at the front door is that many successful people who are in successful relationships tell me like, yo, man, that song helped me so much, this, that, and the other, because, you know, in an adverse way, they was like, I'm not fucking with that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm going to get my relationship right type shit. So they like the furthest away from that shit. Like, I love the song, I love the vibe and everything like that, but I know what not to do and what, that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it be happening like that. Like, people run up on me like, yo, that song inspired me so much. And that, you know, they be married up, chilling, like, yo, happy and shit like that. And I'm like, I see what it did for you, you know, that type of shit. Yeah.
So it helped them. In the long run, it helped them.
Right. Like, pull the spirit that might have been, like, getting ready to grow in them. You know what I'm saying? Just pulled it right out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see a nigga get, boom, like, oh, shit, I don't want to have no dealings with, you know, that type of shit. Exactly, that type of shit. That's kind of like what the looking at the front door did for a lot of people. And just, you know, it's just a banger that people... You know, if you wasn't all into the lyrics, you know, you just enjoyed the beat and just rock with it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, love that song.
Because it was a single.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
Okay.
Your favorite albums? What was first hip
The
hop?
first hip hop album that you got a hold of that got you where you at right now, sitting here, whatever. When you get in the car and you ride home, whatever. The first hip hop album that you got that got you into hip hop, what was it? Anybody?
Well, see, in my time, it wasn't even albums; it was singles.
Yep.
It was singles. So you had like Spoonie G and I mean, now I could go into all of the, you know, the back catalog history of hip hop, man. But my first record was Spoonie G, Spoon and Rap, and man, like my mother took me to Corvettes, man. She bought me that record, man, and from there on. But I'll tell you the truth, man, the one that got me rhyming and rapping, like where I thought I should pick up the pen, was The Show, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick.
Okay.
I was in Maryland. And I was on like a little summer vacation, and I heard that shit. I was like, oh shit, what's this? And right after that, immediately, like I just started writing rhymes and shit like that.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. Anybody? Bayshawn.
Yo, what up? It's Bayshawn. The first album that I picked up was Public Enemy's Yo Bum Rush the Show. I remember being down at G&H Records down on Thornton Avenue, and I was going back and forth between that and BDP Criminal Minded. And where I made my decision was my boy Kevin Barnett. He already had the Criminal Minded.
Be Nice.
Yeah, Be Nice. Yeah, and he had the manning his music on wax. So I went on ahead and got that Public Enemy because I knew I could dub that Criminal Minded off of Kev, man. But shortly after that, I bought that Criminal Mind and it forever changed my life. You know what I mean? Now I was reigning supreme over nearly everyone, man. KRS-One has been, like, he's my favorite rapper of all time, man. He taught me knowledge of self, man. So while I'm on the mic, let me go ahead and plug an event we got coming up, Keepers of the Art, September 22nd. We back down to Lock 3 after a 3-year hiatus. Don't have any acts to give you yet, but just come on out. It's going to be official. Bring your youngins out, you know, bring your seeds, bring your brothers and sisters out so you can see hip-hop at its essence, man. All right, peace.
Wait. Please keep us posted on who's coming and all of that. So we're gonna have you on the podcast before it really pop off, so we can talk about that. All right?
As soon as you get that ink signed, that'd be dope.
Crisis, what was the first hip hop album that you got a hold of that got you in hip hop? Don't say Ja Rule.
First off, I'm
saying that shit for a reason. That's my nigga, but I'm saying that shit for a reason.
First of all, y'all got my nigga Jeffrey Atkins fucked up. I'm a real life fan of Ja. I go to war for my dog. Like these
Yo, I'm actually where I'm resting at right now in Woodhull is where Ja Rule comes from. I'm right there in Woodhull, no doubt. Yeah. No, where he comes from, he ain't there no more. Like I'm there, but he ain't.
What was the first album?
I'll do that too, though. I'll do that too.
No, but my first album I can honestly remember that got me into like really listening to this shit was Jay-Z's Hard Knocks Life Volume 2. And it's a funny story behind it because my granny got it for me for Christmas, but she didn't know. You feel me? Like she didn't know what she was doing. Like she didn't know that money cash holes was on that song. So I'm like,
that was the banger.
I'm here like 8 years old, walking around like DMX and my dog's bike all damn night. I'm like, what the hell are you barking for? Like, needless to say, she took the album back, and I ended up with Rugrats movie soundtrack.
Ended up with what?
The movies, the Rugrats movie, the Rugrats movie.
Hey,
Busta Rhymes,
hey, Mason, Blackstreet, and Maya had a song on that shit, right? Okay.
Yes.
Hey,
Tommy was mad, and Chucky was sad. Someone went crying home with mommy and dad. Bro, what?
Oh, cry. Did you
Yes.
Tommy was mad, and Chucky was sad, and Philly Lil was crying with mommy and dad. Bro, I was on that. Take me there. I want to go there. Boy, what?
Maya was in a fucking crib in the video.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, we ain't shit. We're not shitting on anybody. We just
At all.
We just stating our opinions on everything.
Absolutely.
Yo, who going?
Yes,
What's the first
I'll do next.
Forrest G, what you got?
Well, like Large said, it was singles before album. So, Spoonie G, of course, like he said, that was one.
I'm not hip to Spoonie G, but I'm gonna look that shit up.
Absolutely. It's fly. And the thing about with the Spoonie G joint is, it's not like the rapper today where it's like 16. Yo, he rapped both sides of the record. So like both sides of that record, maybe like 10
minutes. And then you gotta flip it over.
You flip it over, and he's still rapping.
He gave us a 2-10.
Where's he from, by the way? Y'all know?
Harlem. He's from Harlem.
Yeah, Harlem cat. Okay.
But
all right.
My first one single that changed my life was Disco Dave and Force of the 5 MC's High Power Rap.
Oh yeah.
Only because the whole
It was the speed rap.
And then the part with G-Man at the end when I'm harmonizing.
Yeah.
That's the part everybody just played over when you're walking down the street with your box.
Yeah.
They played it over. So that was a single, and then I can't remember which one I played first, but when I got into albums, I got the Treacherous 3 album, and I got the Wild Style soundtrack. And I don't know.
The Treacherous 3 had
first.
Body Rock on it though. That's
3, man. Like growing up, Mo D was my favorite.
Yes, me too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's Faking the Funk. That's where Faking the Funk came from. Cause he was when he was rocking on Busy B. He said, "Cause you're faking the funk. Cause you're faking the funk." And at the end of the day, you will call me Uncle Mo D. Rock the house. Go me Uncle. No doubt.
There's one Mo D track that I think people sleep on if you listen to. It's called "Turn It Up."
Oh man,
and I mean,
potent.
He went just like lyrically bananas for that time.
Force driven by ancient spirits. Feel it, hear it. a metaphor for living. Bass amplified when fully applied. All adversaries become terrified. Yo, Mo D, word up. Big up, cool Mo D.
It's like a motherfucking hip hop history class right now. Yeah, I mean, like cool Mo D.
You mean to tell me that shit fucking with your hips, your thighs?
You gotta relax. I know this ain't drink champs, but you gotta relax. You gotta relax.
You said it ain't drink champ.
All right, what's your favorite album? What's your
Moving along.
Right, moving right along. You gotta relax.
Hey, no, but wait.
Let me say this first. Let me say that's what I love about hip hop. That right there, that what just happened right there. That's what I love about hip hop.
Yes, sir.
It don't matter if I and you.
Right.
That's what I love about hip hop. I was the tissue in the top champ. I don't care what nobody say. I wasn't allowed to have that in my house. My mom wasn't. What did he just say?
I wasn't either.
Cut it off.
I wasn't either.
Cut it off.
Right.
So I'm getting Vanilla Ice tapes. I'm faking. I'm faking it. I'm faking the fuck.
Right.
But the first album I bought outright, like I went and got, was Home Base. Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Was Home Base. That was the
And
first.
you could play that.
One.
You could blast that in the crib.
Listen, I got in the car. Put this on. Put this on. Nah, we listen to hip hop.
Right.
So we gonna do
Right. Yeah. Nah, Will helped you out. Will was
he looked out
super
for
clean
me.
on the mic.
We listen to some
Yeah,
hip hop today.
for
You gotta
sure.
understand.
Brand New Funk was on that. Was Brand New Funk? Oh my
And you gotta
God.
understand, it got to you saw my blinker bitch, and I'm like, shit, she gonna die. No, but she felt it. I was
Right.
like, but the album that changed my life was the next year. What the album? Listen, Redman is will forever be my favorite rapper. He will forever be my favorite. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Red. And he got bangers, man.
album,
Shout out to
yes.
Redman. I was
To this day, he's
backstage. I had a show with him, man, and I hadn't performed with him for years, so for like a decade or so, man. And man, we had a show in VA. He hit that stage and he just started running through them bangers. I was like, I forgot about that one. Oh shit, right, that one. Yo, big up Redman. Word is bomb,
But
man.
what's the album and there's the Dark Side of his best albums, in my personal opinion.
All of his albums is the best.
All
All of his albums is the best albums. All of his albums
Every
is
single
still.
something on every single
Every
album.
album.
Hey,
Yes,
I want to
sir.
tell you something, man. I was that kid, and shout out to Two Live Music, baseline.
No doubt, no
You
doubt.
y'all know about Two Live?
Yeah, I was just
Okay,
there.
Two Live. Yeah, shout out to them. I used to go in there and my mom didn't want me to have certain music either. I used to go in there and convince them to put the price tag over the parental advisory sticker.
Oh.
And then what I did was I invested in my own headphones.
Smart.
Yeah,
I was a headphone. Believe me, I was a headphone dude too. I was in the cut with the headphones.
I
Like,
had to,
all right,
like-
cool. We fully
Ain't nobody-
contained.
Hey, everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying?
We got a
Everybody's
bag
happy.
over the container and shit. Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's
Yeah.
happy. Quitie,
Yours, yes. That's what I was waiting for. I want to hear yours.
Yeah,
Like hip hop.
Quitie,
Like,
what's
yeah.
your first hip hop? What's your first one?
Y'all wouldn't even believe it.
Naughty by Nature. It's probably Naughty by
it's
Nature,
not.
something like that.
1993.
It's like Naughty by Nature, something like that. I already know.
All right, it's only different because I'm literally the baby here.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes. Well, wait a minute.
This is crazy right now. Naughty by Nature,
You're 24. You're the baby on the microphone, but you're not the baby in the building.
Your sister?
My sister's in the cut, and that's how she rolls. So go ahead.
I'm the baby on the
You know
mic.
that. All right.
And the album that got me introduced into hip hop, which is ironic, was Illmatic. No shit.
Wow.
Like,
Everybody should clap for that. I mean, I'm not trying to be corny, but y'all should clap for that. Okay, so Illmatic. Okay, Illmatic.
no, right.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Cause I was the baby, like I have like four, like you know everybody older, everybody in the music stuff like that, and I'm listening to Lil Wayne, I'm listening to this, I'm listening to that, but it was something about like I don't even know what song it was.
New York State of Mind changed my life.
Ew.
Don't say
No,
mine.
New York State of Mind was the first time I
It
cried.
could have been
on a
Memory
hip-hop
Lane.
song.
It could have
First
been
time I dropped
Memory
a tear.
Lane. It could have been It ain't hard to tell. It could, yeah, all of that, yeah.
My
It ain't
sister
hard
put
to
it on.
tell.
Cause the
I got it
Michael
from my sister.
Jackson the thing, I knew what I was doing. The Michael Jackson, I knew what I was
My
doing.
sister
Like,
put it on. And
yeah,
I was a kid. Like I was a kid. Like I had to been like 5 or something. I was young.
yeah.
And when
Locomotive.
she played
Go
it,
ahead.
I was
Locomotive.
like,
Nah, that was, you know, that's later in like,
Hey,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you did the
for
thing
sure.
on that, but go ahead.
I appreciate it.
I
Go
also
ahead.
grew up in church. I'm like, I shouldn't be listening to this rap.
Right.
Man, I was
Yeah,
like, hold on, like, what is that?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
different from the waves and stuff. I'm like, but that really got me into like the art of storytelling. So when people ask me like who is my favorite like artist of now, I will say Kanye, because when I got back into music, Kanye came with the storytelling and the through the wire, and it was
Yeah,
like,
through the
this
wire,
is
yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah,
rap,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
he's speaking,
Got
like
you,
he's
got you,
like,
got
you
you.
feel me?
Yeah, the Kanye, nah, yeah, that's honorable.
Hey, real quick, will we ever get a whole Large Professor and Nas project?
I
Like,
think
we
so.
got a whole-
I
okay.
think so. I think he's. Damn, I don't even know if I'm even supposed to be saying this, man.
We'll
But,
leave it alone. Let's-
no. I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you. Prior to this Kanye album, I heard a whole Nas and Timbaland album.
I heard there was a whole Nas and Primo album out there.
No. There's not.
not?
It's not done.
Okay.
But I heard not a whole Nas and Timbaland album, but a lot of songs, and I have clips of them and everything. And so that's why I wasn't so mad at the Nas and Kanye album, because I'm thinking, and that's the thing with hip hop, is that you have to realize that this is going through the same channels that R&B and that rock and all of this. So they're starting to do the same kind of tactics that they did before, where it's like an artist were, and they kind of reeling back, where it's like, nah, we don't want this smorgasbord of producers, we just want one. And so I think they kind of got in that mode. But he has a lot of iller songs with Timbaland. Really? So I think maybe that is something they may be trying to do, like just to kind of taper off, like, yo, we just gonna rock a whole project with this one, that one, and that one type of stuff.
Okay.
So that might be, I'm suspecting that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So there might be no, I'm not even gonna say might, because we already have an album's worth of stuff done, just in the archive. So I'm sure they'll one day just put it all together, and hopefully we'll work on some newer, fresher stuff and everything. But I think they getting ready to do a different thing that is going to be bigger than what people are expecting.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they might think like, yo, nah, it's just this, and that's it. But then they might come back and just bang him with something else. Because he has the material, believe me.
But no disrespect.
Ain't no disrespect taken. I had nothing to do with that Kanye Nas album.
That Kanye Nas album I fuck with. But
Okay.
I don't like.
I don't.
Yes, I do. Hey, you can't say shit till you drop it.
I know.
Don't look at me.
No, listen. I'm so glad you said all the things you just said, because we.
But there is nothing on that album that's
All right,
worse.
so now we back right now. We back.
it's
We
fine,
back.
yeah.
There's nothing worse in that album.
You
than
looking
you owe
forward
me.
now. You
There's
looking.
nothing worse in that album than you owe me.
What you want me?
And I'm gonna stop talking. There's
I'ma stop
nothing
talking
worse.
too.
There's nothing worse in that
listen.
new Nas album than you owe me.
No, listen. This is
That
my
you
thing
owe
about
me
that
shit is
album.
whack.
I like some Kanye. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate him for any reason. I love Nas,
Absolutely.
as an artist. You know what I'm saying? That CD, that
I just wasn't impressed.
That download, because I don't even think it's on CD.
Yeah, that album.
that
Can we get
download. Listen,
Let's
Crisis,
get
can we get the
real
review for
format
that
of what
album?
it really is. That
Kanye
MP3.
Can we get the review
did
for that
4
album?
albums.
Listen to it.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot
it
of
was
shit
in
going
five.
on.
Was it 4 or 5 albums?
Yeah,
What was the last one? What was the last
Seven,
one?
right? It was 7, yeah.
Tiana Taylor
And
was the last
now
one.
he's committed, like Kim Kardashian just committed him into the hospital or something like that. Like,
Weird. I don't understand it.
he's weak right now. Like, he's like, yo, I'm done
That
with all
Tiana
these 7
Taylor-
albums. I'm drained. Like,
I didn't hear the whole Tiana Taylor album, but it was at least 2 beats on there. I would have
only-
loved to
it's
hear
only
Nas.
2
songs
I
on
would
there,
like
yeah.
Nas would have started this. What happened in there, Kanye? Somebody dropped the ball.
The beat, like how he appointed the beats, was kind of like, all right, this one would have been better with that.
Yeah,
that
it just,
type of thing.
I didn't like it.
I
mean,
feel like
can't
Aaron
hate
Hall
it.
was supposed to be on the last song. Simple Things. Aaron Hall was supposed to be on that song. He was on the last song of Life Is Good. He should have been on the last song of Not Good. Why not?
Yo, R. Kelly.
It's out. I wanted to hear Aaron Hall on the last song.
I hate to say this.
Right.
I hate to say this, but I always,
Hey, 19 or 9.
you know, and I don't mean to offend nobody, but I always thought
Now we talking real, man.
I thought Kanye's rhyming has always been suspect to me because, I mean, when you take it back to Jesus Walk, I got to talk about Rhyme Fest for that one because he goes for it.
Right.
But I think the part that where I really questioned him being a rapper was when he was on Sway's show and Sway asked him to freestyle and he just kind of like totally dodged that. You know,
I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna turn it over here.
I mean, he totally dodged that. Like he's like, cause Sway's like kick a freestyle, and he just come, you didn't do nothing. And I'm
I think
like,
you would have expected that though.
man, you can
Sure, I
but if you ask a real MC to kick a rhyme, like if somebody, they'll do it.
I'm gonna walk in rapping just so he won't ask me.
So I just, you know, and no disrespect to him because I've heard some projects in the '90s that he put out that was like some real boom bap stuff. If he really, you know, if he really produced it, I know him and Doug Infinite. I forgot the album. I got it at home, but they did a album that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
It came out like '93. And
Okay.
I looked on the credits and his name was on there. I was like, well, his production
Okay.
back then was good.
I'm not familiar with that. That's
Yeah, I have to
that's
pull it
definitely
out.
education.
But it's a record that Chicago MC had put out, and Doug I don't know if you know Doug know about Doug Infinite.
No.
He's a producer from Chicago. He's
Don't
pretty
know.
dope, and he actually
Did a lot of comments early shit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of comments.
early
Like
stuff.
Can I borrow $1?
Yeah.
Resurrection album and all that. Like a lot of that. He did.
Okay. Was
No, I
he
didn't.
wasn't. Can I borrow $1? Or was after? Can I borrow
It was I
$1?
think it was more so after. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny because the way actually I met Doug Infinite when I owned the record store. He walked in and just like, hey, I'm Doug Infinite, and I looked on the record. I'm like, and we started talking, and I actually had the record in the store, and I looked on it, and I was like. Then he was telling me how he's from Chicago, and I was like, "Oh, this must be the Doug Infinite that produced this." And it was
That's
actually him. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And y'all still rock to this day? Like you have a.
You know, I met him. I got his information.
Okay,
We,
yeah,
you know,
you
we
can-
kicked it.
You can get in touch if you need to
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
Yeah, but that was like an early Kanye project that I'm like, wow, he's really producing some beats.
Hey man, it's cool to be a guy like you, man. Like you the guy, but you know all these people, but you just, you know what I mean, just chill with it, man. Yeah, I know a lot of people. If they knew who you knew, man, they'd be very flamboyant. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like,
Hey,
look at me,
man. This is like,
Yeah, it's
that's just how it is in New York, man. You just
Friends.
know everybody.
yeah.
You know, in the scene, like I said, I worked at the store there, and I got to meet, you know, become friends with people like Q-Tip, and I met Primo a couple times. But,
Okay.
but that record store we worked at, man, it was like, what do you say, man, the top of the food chain as far
Absolutely.
as producers. Like,
Absolutely.
rumor has it that the sample for the Chronic came from
Word.
came
Yeah.
from
Jared gave it
from
to
our
him. Yeah,
store.
Jared gave it to
My
him.
friend Jared, the
Yeah.
guy I work with, he
That's good.
Yeah, he sent it to him.
sent it to
So,
Dre.
so producers might send somebody else out to deal
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
yeah,
plate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
the game got crazy.
Like, you know-
that's another episode.
Yeah.
though,
It
man, when
is,
we
man.
start
It,
talking about-
it
yeah.
definitely is, man.
Yeah.
And like, you know, at some point, I want to bring you back when the time is
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
And
Now, I'm always-
You and I will we definitely
Yeah.
gonna collaborate.
I'm
man.
always out here with the guards, so we good, man. Word, Forrest, that's my brother, so we good, man. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So I'll be back.
I want to give your man the opportunity to say it. Then,
Yeah,
you
P.
know
Watts,
what? They always
promote that
hold on.
thing.
Before we go any further, they always say I'm the last one to speak and all that. So, do you want to speak last, or you
Hook
want
that
me
back
to
up.
speak last, man? I'm asking.
Nah, he's gonna say something
Go
nice.
ahead,
He's gonna
man.
say something nice.
Go ahead.
Emotional here,
He
man.
gonna say something nice.
I'm being courteous. Go ahead, man.
I just wanted my man to have his flowers, man, because he done a lot, and
Hey,
you know
that's real.
he's done a lot, man. He a real good, genuine dude, man. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with that.
And me and him got something brewing, man.
Oh
Like,
man, yo, this
crazy.
project is crazy.
When is it coming?
Yo,
we doing a full length, but in the meantime, I got a project. Static Selector's doing production. He got about Large got about 4 or 5 joints. Y'all familiar with DJ OG
No.
from Digging in the?
DITC.
He did a lot of
Digging in the
OC.
Crate?
He did a lot of
You with
OC
Diamond D?
stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yep. DJ OG on there. Derringer did a joint.
Derringer.
Pete Rock's on there. You know what I'm saying? So That'll be out like by October. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
We got raw Waddits, you know what I'm saying? It's me and my partner DJ Effects. I'm bringing that whole DJ element back, man.
Okay.
So it's the DJ MC thing, you know what I'm saying?
Word. That's that.
Yeah,
That's
we
that.
bridging the gap between the South and.
Yeah, because I'm originally from South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? And
Where do you
what's good-
reside now?
I reside in South Carolina. It's just
And in New York.
I can't stay away. I got family in New York, so just to tell you my story, because we was talking about the albums.
Right.
One of my favorite albums is probably The War Report, man. You know what I'm saying?
Now that's your favorite album. I agree with, but I want to know what album got you into hip hop.
I'm gonna probably say what got me into hip hop. It'll probably be that Nice and Smooth, man. My man Hostile Rhymes. He put me onto that self-titled Nice and Smooth. That's the first time I ever.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The first rapper I ever met in life was
What a great album to start with, man. That's
With that Nice and Smooth.
That's a colorful album, man. That's a good vibe.
But the War Report resonate with me more, man. I was a lot older, and everything that was on the War Report, I seen like when he say little Javon, that was my homie. Like,
so you know Lil Javon.
I know Lil Javon. I know Poppy. I know Noyd from
Nori,
back then. We played
Poppy,
basketball
Poppy,
together. I knew him as Poppy. I never seen him as Noyd.
Oh yeah, you did Pyramids with him.
Yeah, Pyramids.
That shit was dope. That's 2013.
Like,
right?
I actually
Yeah.
them boys
That's
were like the
what it is.
first rappers I seen that lived everything they talked about. You know what I'm saying?
from the
Like
coke to
I
the
seen
marijuana,
Poppy bust the gun.
He talks about it.
Yeah, like
He talks about it.
Shout out NO.
Statue of limitation ran out, huh? Statue of limitation ran
and
out.
what's so ironic about that is years later, I link up with Tragedy.
Who?
I link up with Tragedy,
Oh,
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi, yeah.
I didn't know him back then, but I linked up with him in South Carolina, and we knew each other for about 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I linked up with this man by way of Tragedy. So
That was my first production. Was Intelligent Hullum.
Intelligent Hullum. That's his solo project.
That's his first project. You know what I'm saying? That was he put me on. Trash put me on. So you know when Trash came back to me, he was like, "Yo, I got my man Watts. He doing his thing." You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, "All right, cool." And then now, yo, this stuff we got is incredible, man. We got Rel, we got Horace Brown on this joint.
What
man.
Court Mega at, man?
Mega is good. We getting ready to do a Mega Philosophy too. We had I had suggested a title to him one day. I was like, yo, you need to do some shit called Mega Philosophy because he had kind of shedded his street thing. You know, he's a father now. He's all types of things, so it's different now. So I suggested a title to him, and he was like, "All right, let's do it." And you know, we have a project called Mega Philosophy out there. I kind of wanted to take him away from, pardon me. I wanted to take him away from because Mega is the street dude. Like that's another dude who really lived that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he got pictures to show, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. So but I noticed with Mega that he was more refined now. And I'm like, yo, man, you know, he had a lot of philosophies in his rhymes now. It's like, yo, if the sun don't shine, then that nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had like all types of analogies and shit like that. I'm like, yo, we gotta do like some philosophical type shit and shit. So, yeah, we gonna work on that. But nah, Mega is the true, you know, in Queensbridge, like I said, man, that's a world of its own, man. So you gotta just, you know, let them rock, man, for real. Let them rock.
All right,
for sure.
what? Hey. I don't want to be in here too much.
Shameless plug. Go on, get it on.
Speaking of hip hop, we got Who Got the Beat showcase coming up August 18th. Marley and me, hosted by yours truly, Quitie, and my co-host Johnny.
Who is it?
Johnny the Gent.
Ah.
Johnny the Gent. That's my co-host.
Johnny the Gent.
Johnny the Gent. Yes.
Or it could be Johnny Legit. Yeah. Let me add on, God. Let the professor add on.
Putting that on my resume.
No doubt.
Since y'all talking about the Beat Showcase, man, when is it? Where is it at?
August 18th. Marley and me in Akron. I'm gonna add some hands.
If you ain't there, I'm gonna be mad.
Island Square area.
18th, right? 24th, we out there, right? All right.
Yeah.
We know we facts, boss. All right, cool.
Hey, I appreciate the love, man.
Absolutely. Nah, we here.
I'm confused about what album got me into hip hop. I'm gonna go with Straight Outta Compton. Cool C had this album. I don't know the name.
The Cool C shit, no doubt.
Glamorous Life.
Yeah, the glamorous life. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then you had Ice-T. He's
Oh,
talking
wow.
about singles. The single from the New Jack City soundtrack, the New Jack Hustler.
Oh, wow, the
Those
New
would be
Jack
my
Hustler.
3 ones that I would say got me into hip hop. I don't know which one came first.
Yeah.
Straight Outta Compton came first. I don't know. I'm gonna have to break that down for the next one, man.
It's the
But
next
it's
one,
those
word.
three
We're gonna have a
that
next
we
one.
gonna
We're gonna have a
go.
next one,
Yeah,
word.
definitely.
3-part series.
Hey,
right
man.
here. You know what I'm saying? 3-part series
I
right here.
appreciate that, man. Y'all told me what's next between y'all. Is
Yeah.
that pretty much what's coming next? Yo, I appreciate you coming, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes,
it's been
sir.
a beautiful experience.
Word up. We here, all live.
Yeah.
This is
Man,
us.
Thank you.
Word
You
up.
have enriched my hip hop life.
No doubt, word. Peace to the God, no doubt. We here.
Yo, this is Hey Young World.
Stay black and stay humble.
I like
Please.
that. Come to the camera and say that. I'm just gonna throw
Stay black and stay humble.
Black and stay-
Word up.
Emphasize that humble.
Word, the humble. Let's
Yeah,
emphasize
yeah.
that. Word up.
Hey, yeah, so yeah.
And believe
peace.
me, because everybody come from that, you know what I'm saying? So, believe me, stay black and stay humble. Everybody come from that. So
Hey,
stay
man,
black and stay
It's beautiful
humble.
to see the shootout humble with all that you've accomplished,
Nah,
man.
we good, man.
Niggas
There's
like
more to
you
come,
be acting Hollywood as
It's all
fuck,
good,
man.
man. Nah, we here, man. Let the niggas
Hey.
drift off into space, man. They'll find out, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real.
Space
That's real.
program. You know what I'm saying?
Peace.
Peace.